I think definitely having some games under your belt, definitely away games will help, and I think it's grown my confidence a lot.
Gunnar, can you talk about just the primary difference after the before and after? I mean, your offense looked kind of dead in the water, and your defense comes up with a play. You guys went right down the field and kind of took over the second half. How do you explain that?
Yeah, I'm glad we played 4 quarters. That's why they give you. So I'm glad we ended up doing what we had to do to win the ball game.
Do you feel a boost from something like that as a player when your defense makes a play?
Yeah, definitely. It's like, hey, they got you back, and we got to respond. So I'm definitely excited for Ole Miss.
Kirby was talking about what makes Lane Kiffin and their quarterback dynamic so successful is between when the clock goes off and up until 15 seconds, Lane's always in his ear talking about what he sees. Well, for when it comes to you, what kind of information do you love learning from the press box above? What helps you kind of map out the next play? What are you looking for in that communication between Coach Bobo and yourself to make a successful play?
Yeah, when Coach Bobo gives me the play, and then we kind of, depending on the play, we kind of know what we're looking for, and he does a good job getting it in and hearing it and giving me what I need to know.
Yeah, Kirby was saying that last touchdown drive kind of shows what this offense is. Small chunks, look for big plays when it's there. What's your take as the quarterback on what this offense is through 6 games and what it could be going forward the rest of the year?
Yeah, I think our offense, we never quit. We're resilient, and we did what we had to do to win the ball game. And this team, we never quit. We're hard to put away, and I think that's the best part about our offense.
Gunnar, you dive into the end zone for the final touchdown, Superman pose, all that stuff. At some point, I'm sure Kirby said maybe you take a knee there, maybe you slide. But did that conversation ever come up after that game, after that play?
Yeah, it was kind of heat of the moment. We're kind of already moved on to Ole Miss. So.
What are your early impressions of this Ole Miss defense and just what you guys are going to be up against?
Yeah, they're really good. They've got really great players, and it'll be another great SEC opponent, and we're really looking forward to it.
You guys have had to start 6 different offensive line combinations at this point. What kind of impact has that had on this offense? And as you guys maybe try and get healthier there, what does that give you encouragement about what you can do moving forward?
Yeah, like I said, our offense, we never quit. Those guys battle. It doesn't matter who it is. It's kind of next man up mentality, and they're always ready to fight.
Monroe was named the offensive lineman after the week after Kirby said middle of the week he probably wasn't even know if he was going to make the trip. What does he mean to you? What does it say about who he is to say I'm coming, I'm playing, and then be rewarded for his play against Auburn?
Yeah, he definitely battled. He did a great job, and just being able to play when you don't feel so well, it means the world.
Gunnar, we've seen you taken some big hits this year, and every time you seem to just kind of pop back up. Is that, what is that? Why do you continue to pop up that way? And is there any coaching that has happened, so you don't take some of those hits?
Yeah, I never really want to lay on the ground. It's never really a good look. So I've always just popped up. So.
Gunnar, you've obviously been in the program a long time and played a lot of really great players, behind the walls of practice, but now you're doing it at some of the most hostile stadiums. Can you maybe reflect on how different you are now at the midway point of the season than the guy we saw come out of the tunnel against Marshall?
Yeah, just having the experience going to Tennessee in some of those games and just having those games under my belt, it's definitely changed me.
You had the big completion to Noah on Saturday. 1, how big was that for the offense, having that explosive play? And just 2, how much does that sort of fit what Noah can bring to this offense and what we could see from him going forward? Yeah,
it was a big momentum play, and he made a great play and great catch. I'm glad he came down with it, and he's a great player and even better guy.
Gunnar, did you avoid the traffic last year at Ole Miss when all the fans rushed the field? And do you think there's any motivation for this team to kind of get back at them?
Yeah, this is a whole new year. We're definitely excited for Ole Miss, and it'll be a great environment, great SEC game.
Yeah, I remember at one point Carson said, they felt like more confidence in himself and from his teammates once you'd actually gone on the road and won a game. Do you feel kind of that same thing in yourself and from your teammates of, you've one at Tennessee, one at Auburn, won some big games. Does it feel different from a confidence perspective now?
Yeah, for sure. I think going on the road in the SEC is hard, and it definitely and heck, anywhere you go in the SEC, it's going to be hard. So it'll give you a lot of confidence.
You mentioned the defense, but what does Ole Miss do in terms of its pass rush that makes it difficult to go against?
Yeah, they do a great job. They get after the quarterback, and they got a lot of great guys on defense, and we're excited for the challenge.
Gunner, right up here. First couple games, it was a lot of design runs for you. A lot of the throws were, near the line of scrimmage. You guys have taken more downfield shots in the coming weeks. How have you seen defenses kind of evolve to how they play you in this offense?
Yeah, some defenses they've played some zone and try to take away some of the deeper shots. So just being able to take what they give us and move on.
Yeah, from a player's perspective, what's Kirby Smart like on the sidelines of a game, and what do those interactions look like with you two?
Yeah, Coach Smart, he definitely he's awesome on the sideline. And, he brings the fire, passion, energy every day. So I think that's what makes him special.
Gunner, Kirby, I think, did describe you as a gunslinger at one point. I know the Texas game last year, there was the one interception. I think you only have one in 6 games this year. Has avoiding mistakes been an emphasis for you? Would you like to, or did you have to kind of consciously kind of rein yourself in as a mentality coming into this year?
I think I just need to cut it loose sometimes and just play ball at the end of the day. The Lord's kind of blessed me with some. Might have should have been some picks earlier in the season, but I'm excited to go out there and play every day.
To follow up on what Connor asked, what's Kirby like in the locker room after a big road win against a rival like Auburn or like Tennessee?
Yeah, he's awesome. That's one of the coolest parts about the locker room. Just after a game, that's what I mean. Playing football, it's awesome, but being in that locker room and sharing those memories is definitely special.
To follow up on that, did you see him jump on the table and get the fans going crazy? And if so, what would it take for you to do something like that?
I did not. I think I was already in the locker room, but that was pretty cool.
Have any more for Gunner? One more?
Yeah, I think I tracked it. It was almost like 30 minutes before the game kicked off where you actually got to go take a snap. Are you watching the defense in there? Are you kind of in your own zone? What are you doing during all that time? And does the pressure mount a little bit when you know, all right, finally I get to go out there and do this?
Yeah, I think for me, I always want to get the ball first and just go ahead and get the first drive under. But that isn't how it always works sometimes. But just being able to be ready and go when our number's called.
I feel like we played pretty good against Auburn. We settled down, just locked in, just know what we have to do, and just execute what we really have to do, really.
Ellis, I think it was the third or fourth possession by Auburn where they tried to get the ball up to Cam Coleman. You were there one-on-one. You got your hand in there just at the right time. On plays like that, that's just instinct. I mean, how is that something you can actually prepare for? Just kind of run me through that play.
It's really just instinct, really. Cam, he's a good receiver. He's a great receiver, really. That's my guy. Like, he's good at catching the ball, adjusting to the ball well, really. So I just had to play the hands at that point.
Yeah, this was the second week in a row the defense forced a fumble with a punch out. What has the emphasis been on that in practice over the past couple of weeks, and how good does it feel to see those results actually translating onto the field in some pretty big spots?
Every day in practice they always preach and talk about takeaways. We work at it as like drills and everything. So, just seeing that translate from practice to the games, that was good.
Ellis, Georgia gave up some long touchdowns against Tennessee, including yourself. But how have you bounced back from that the last few games? Is it hard to kind of put that behind you, or what's been your point of emphasis?
Not at all, really. Playing DB, you always have to have a short-term memory from like all the plays that you make. So, really just putting that in the past and just looking forward.
Going back to that pass breakup against Cam, how much more comfortable do you feel being put in those spots where the ball's in the air and you got to go up and make a play?
Oh, really? It came with like experience, just playing wise. So, just having that playing experience, it just was more comfortable for me just being out there, really.
Yeah, CJ Allen, another big game this past Saturday. What has his leadership and play meant to this defense?
His leadership and play meant a lot, really, because that was a big play and big swing, like a momentum really for us. So just him as a leader overall, like, it was really good just to have him there, really, as a teammate.
Kirby mentioned that Auburn did some stuff offensively that you guys didn't rep. What were those things, and what was the adjustment process like? Just teams just running new plays on us and everything. It was just adjusting to everything that we had to do, really, just defensively, That's really what I could say about that.
Yeah, Ellis, what are your early impressions of Ole Miss's passing game and just what you guys are going to be up against on Saturday?
They got a really good two quarterbacks. They have really good two quarterbacks, and their receiving room is really good, too, as well. So just really buckling down on what we got to do this week.
Kind of a follow-up on that, too. The challenge as far as eye placement goes when you're facing the Ole Miss receivers. How difficult, is it any different things you guys have to do to get ready for that?
Say that one more time.
When it comes to eye placement, playing the Ole Miss receivers, what's the challenge for that? Make sure your eyes are in the right place at the right time.
Really, it just starts in practice, If you practice it, I feel like you could do it, really. That's how I feel.
Ellis, over the course of your development, is there a specific area or something that you've tried to pinpoint to work on, and where do you feel like you've improved the most?
I would just say just being comfortable and just playing my game, really. That's really where I say, I improved in from the start of this season to now.
Yeah, from a player's perspective, what's Kirby Smart like on the sidelines of these games, trying to get your attention, coaching you guys? He obviously had the clapping incident on Saturday, but just what do you see from him as a coach on the sidelines?
He's a great coach, He always trying to coach you on and off the field. He just wants the best for you, really, and I see that in him, so.
Yeah, where do you feel like this cornerback group specifically is in terms of tackling? You also had a lot of one-on-one tackling situations with the receivers the other night. Seemed like you did pretty well. Just where have the improvements been in tackling for you and Dalen and DeMello?
It just started in practice, We always practice everything, tackling, ball skills, everything. So just taking it from practice and just putting it into the game, really. That's really what I could say.
Coach and others talk a lot about this team's resiliency. What's that like in the moment? Like, what have you learned on the road at Tennessee battling back at Auburn? What's resiliency like in the moment from the mindset of the team and the coaching staff?
I say what the coaches preach on here all the time, just being calm in the chaos, just being calm when things don't go our way, really.
This is kind of a follow-up to that. Just what is practice like, and how is that, and what kind of role does that play in, you guys kind of remaining calm and never. I mean, it seems like you guys are never out of a game. Where does that come from this group?
Say that one more time.
Just where does this resiliency, this never quit mentality kind of come from for, all of you guys, just the whole team?
It starts in practice. They preach it to us all the time. So. Just practicing it in practice, really, that's really what you can do really with that.
Going back to after that Tennessee game, were there any of the older DBs that talked to you, after that game? And if so, what did they kind of say to help you as you kind of moved on from that?
Just short-term memory, plays like that going to happen, but just having the short-term memory and just moving on to the next play.
Was there anyone in particular that you thought kind of helped you with that?
Oh, yeah, Dalen had helped me with that. He was the first one that came up to me and was like, hey, next play.